Hey, Roy. How you doing, buddy? Well, what y'all been up to today? Oh, I can't complain. I'm still up, kicking and going. Lazy today. Oh, ho. So you got a full belly now, huh? How many people? How many rigs you got left there in your little group? Oh, damn! This pollen is killing me. Well, what did you eat, Roy? Wow. You gonna come up, Roy? Hello, Diane. I have your own little town. Oh, all right. Chicken. If they got a chicken place out there in Quartzsite, okay. Yeah. Hmm. Carl Jr. All right. Nothing like Kentucky Fried Chicken or something like that, huh? You know, that's one place I've never eaten. Carl. They don't seem to do real well here in Texas. He got so many different fried chicken places here in town. Got Bush's and Popeyes and oh Lord, Churches, and there's a bunch of them. I think the cars we had here was more of a hamburger type place. There you go. A hell of a lot better too. That's traveling food there too. If I'm taking a long trip, a lot of the time I'll get a package of chicken legs and fry them up. And put me a piece of cheese in the cooler and the chicken legs and a loaf of bread or a roast and slice it up. Set that cooler up in the truck with me and I'll be nibbling all day long. That few years I was on the road, it got me where I don't care much for most of these places. Every once in a while, I take a notion I want to go to Red Lobster or Texas Roadhouse or someplace like that, but that's not very often. And we do have one little old bitty Tex-Mex place, little old hole in the wall that's pretty good. I'll eat there once in a while. Not sandwiches, just fried chicken. That when you just grab a chicken leg and eat it while you're driving. Red Lobster's pretty good usually. What you say, Mike? I was laughing today, Mike. Hello, Jessica. I saw traveling Mike he was a godfather of late night in there. I thought somebody crossing this stuff up. I like a chicken leg just because they're easy to eat. Jessica, how you doing tonight, girl? Yeah, you see that too. I like to fell out laughing when I saw that. Now, who is Daryl? Yeah. Oh,
I need some help, buddy.
What's the
I'm
matter,
having a
buddy?
hell of a time. I'm having a hell of a time with my damn Wi-Fi. And how's the Wi-Fi working?
What, yours?
Yeah, this is
It's
on the
done fine.
iPad. This is on the iPad, and I'm hooked to my phone, but I can't get my TV to work to my phone. So I don't know what the hell is going on. But anyway, this is working now, so I'll
Yeah,
just
it's
use
work.
the iPad. How you doing, Ron?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Doing
Yeah,
fine.
life's
Cussing,
good.
cussing this damn computer. I, you know how I kept getting kicked off?
Yeah,
I thought I was on Firefox, and I know StreamYard sort of likes Chrome, so I changed over to Chrome. And my computer
really?
did, yeah. And like last night, I didn't get kicked off one time.
I thought Firefox was better than Chrome.
Well, I've always had
Oh,
Firefox, but they
well,
said it's compatible with the StreamYard.
I had to do that
They
for Billy.
yeah, but like last night, I never got kicked off one time.
Really? Well,
So maybe that's what it was.
I don't know what the hell is going on. I got the TV and I got that LG smart TV and it was working and I don't know what the hell is going on with it. I pull my hair out and I don't have a whole bunch. But anyway,
Yeah, I wish I was smarter on these damn computers than I am.
yeah, that's why I got my little Jeep down in New York. He's an ET guy, IT guy. I called him twice today already. So, but there you go.
Yeah, well, some of these young people, they just think like a damn computer. We
Oh
run them,
God,
we run them, and they just think like them.
you don't even want to get me going on that. My God. So when Jimmy got no, it wasn't Jimmy. It was his daughter was getting married. We go down to the wedding, and my iPhone was jamming, and it wouldn't. You couldn't get nothing to work or nothing, right? So, well, I know what it was now, but then I didn't know. So we're sitting at the wedding, and this kid's 14, 13 years old, right? I said, Colton, my phone's jamming. I won't go. I said, give it to me for a minute. And he goes, get it here. It'll work just fine. About that fast, too. I
Yeah,
said, you got to be kidding. No. So, but this is the kids, right? So we helped them out. We bought them a computer. Well, Al bought him a computer, right? So we said, well, come on, we'll go down and buy you a computer at Best Buy or London Drugs or something. London Drugs in Canada. They got a pretty good computer system. So he goes down there and he says, no. And he's talking to these IT guys that are selling this stuff, and he's talking circles around him. This is the 13-year-old kid, and he's talking circles around him. And
hello, Daniel.
I
Sorry about
says,
that.
well, Colton, what do you think? Oh, no, no, no. I can build one cheaper than what they want. I says, what? I could build one cheaper. I said, okay. So we go back and say, okay, well, tell us what you want. We'll get it ordered and buy it for you. So we did, and it worked out like $1,200 or something. And so I says, well, where do you take it to put it together? Oh, no, I'll put it together myself. I says, what? Really? Yeah. So he gets all the parts and he's got his five buddies come over to the house and they have a pizza party and put this computer together.
Yeah.
And I said, you're kidding, right? No. And they got all wound up and the thing just worked like a hot damn, eh? So then
Oh, yeah.
the next time, this is Jimmy's kid, right? And I'm saying, so we had this old laptop or a notebook we never used, right? So I says, oh, we'll just go down to Colton and I'll give him I got a 2 terabyte hard drive. I'll get him to put all the movies on it and all the photos. Yeah, no problem. So I go down there. And, yeah, he says, no problem. Brings it back about 10 minutes later. And I says, yeah, right. I said, you got all the music, all the videos, all the photos. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, they're all on there. So we checked, and sure enough, they're all on there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
says, well, you can keep the computer or the laptop. I don't need it. We'll never use it. Oh, okay. And never said a word. So we were down there for a week or so. So about 3 days later, me and Al see him carrying the laptop around. Well, what are you doing with that? Oh, well, oh, this is sickening, Ron. Oh, well, you just said you didn't want it. I said, no, I didn't want it. Well, I blanked it out, cleared it out, and I put Windows 10 in it. It works pretty good now. I says, well, why didn't you just put Windows 10 in it for me? Well, you didn't want that. You didn't want it. Okay. So, yeah, that's how they are, though. That's the way it is. So he got himself a good
Hello,
one.
Jay. Hello, Jason. How you doing tonight? I know it. I got friends of mine, and there's no way in hell they'd buy a computer someplace.
Oh, no.
You know, they gonna put
No.
twice as much RAM in it and bigger hard
Yeah.
drive,
Yeah.
and they get to talking about it. And I don't even know what the hell they're talking about.
They tried to get him to go to Apple, right, and get a job. I says, why don't you just, me and Al were on his case, or like not on his case, but like the kid's 13 years old. Well, he's 19 or 20 now. I says, why don't you just go to Apple? Oh, I don't know. I don't think I'm that good. I said, oh, yeah, you're that good. So he says, oh, I don't like Apple. I says, what do you mean you don't like Apple? No, I don't like Apple. I Android. I says, well, you don't even have a phone. No, what do I need a phone for? Well, if you got any buddies you want to call? Well, no, I just use Wi-Fi. He never had a phone until like a couple of years ago. Never had a phone at all. He always used Wi-Fi. I said, why do I need a phone? I just use Wi-Fi on my iPad or whatever he had at the time. Yeah. The kids are way. They're just.
You right about that, Daniel.
It's amazing.
It drives me crazy. My buddy's wife is like that.
Yeah.
He'll be having hell with a phone or something, or I'll need to do something to a phone, and he'll mess with it for a little bit. He go in the house or something, and she said, "Give me a phone." Boop, 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 boop. There you go.
Yeah. Well, it's just amazing. Like what they can do now. It's just, I know the technology's there, but you never think of it, right? So I had a problem I was doing something on the laptop or on the iPad and I couldn't get it to work. So I phoned Jeet. He's my little IT guy down in New York, Michael's buddy. I said, Jeet, it's doing this. Okay, go into screen share. Okay, so I go into screen share. He said, push the button. Yeah, okay. Okay, now show me what you're doing. Well, I can't show you because you can't see it. He says, everything you can do, I can see you. I said, what do you mean you can see me? He says, everything you do on that computer right now, I can't see you, but I can see the computer. So show me what you're doing. So I showed him what I was doing. Oh, you can't do that. You got to go back here and do this and that. I said, you're kidding, right? Like they can come in and look from the other side of it. And I said, oh my God. But yeah, it's amazing. Totally amazing what they can do.
Well, I've got a laptop, and I hate that damn thing like a passion. The keyboard and me don't get along, and the mouse damn sure don't get along with. I finally bought an external keyboard and external mouse for it, but then the screen's too damn little. I'm spoiled with this desktop, and it's got this bigger screen on it.
Yeah. You know who's really good with him is Willie. Willie's really good with. He helped me a lot with this stuff. Like I don't know nothing. Everybody thinks I know a lot about him. I don't. Believe me, these guys know way more than me.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Willie's pretty good at it. If not, he'll Google it. But he's pretty good at it.
Hello, Steve and KT. How y'all doing?
But anyway, I just wanted to come up and say hi and see if the Wi-Fi is working and all that. So I see it's working. So I'll have to figure out what's the matter with the TV, why it won't pick up the hotspot. So
you got a little static in it right now. It just started when you're talking, but that That might be your Wi-Fi not hooked up right or something.
Yeah. Well, it's over there on the thing, so we'll take a look at it. We're way the hell out in the bush too here. Well, not on the desert, so.
Well, you in Quartzsite now?
Yeah, well, we're over in Blythe. Freaking Quartzsite, there's too many people there. I hate that place. But yeah, I got lots of friends over there, so we got to go over for Steampunks in Squatterville now, so I got to go over there tomorrow. And I got Dee's box van fixed, so she's having her meetup on the 22nd or something. I got to go over there for that. And then Steve is having one down in Ironwood on the first week in February, so I got to go to that. And then and then a couple others are having meetups here, so I got to meet that. So yeah, I don't know where Jamie is; he ain't back yet. But we're gonna make our way north in probably the second or third week in February. We're going up and see our BOB up in California. Yeah. Make our way back. We got to be back by the 1st April anyway. It's amazing how fast it went. Jeez, Murphy.
Everybody ought to go to Quartzsite one time just to see the circus.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because you're right. Because there's a lot better places than Quartzsite. There's like Quartzsite is, I call it the asshole of the nomads, right? Because the thing is like they're like Yuma or Craigie or Lake Havasu or Kingman or Parker or Wickenburg or Prescott are 10 times better than Quartzsite. But everybody revolves around Quartzsite as the capital of the winter stuff, right? But it's like there's way better places to go. There's way better places to go than Quartzsite. And there's so many people there now. But, they're finally waking up in La Posa South. They got 2 shanty dumps and 8 water taps and 2 big garbage cans. And they finally figured out that wasn't enough. So they're going across the way, across at Tyson Wash, which is across the street from La Posa South, and they're putting in an 8-bay drive-through shanty dump. 8 friggin' bays. I said,
wow.
Holy crap.
Well, that, man, they ain't no telling how many $1 million comes through that thing out there.
Yeah.
This time of year. I went, the first time I went out there, I went to the big tent and went all the way through it, and did the thing, all the shops and stuff, but I haven't been back to it since then. And I was looked at a bunch of RVs, but I couldn't find any. I was looking for a small RV.
They want way too much for them here.
Yeah.
But, like if people have never been to Quartzsite and they always hear about Quartzsite, it's worth going, like you say, like we come back all the time. Like we don't go to Quartzsite. We either go to Squatterville or over to Blythe, right? Over the LTVAs, because you pay your $180 and that gives you your shanty dumps, all your water and all your garbage for the 7 months, right? Or 6 months, whatever you are. And that's why we do it. But it is kind of cool. Like if you're a rock hound, if you're into rocks, it's worth the trip to come to Quartzsite just for the rocks. And if you're into and the hard thing to get through people's heads because they think you're lying to them all the time. But if you're into off-roading, like with a dune buggy or a side-by-side or a quad or anything like that, like you can get in Yuma or Quartzsite or Ehrenberg or Parker and go all the way to Salt Lake City if you want.
Yeah.
Or the Grand Canyon or to El Paso. There's roads all over the place, back roads, and it's everywhere. Like it's all over the place. And It's not like Canada. Canada, they destroy the place with off-roaders because they just make a mess of it. But here, they got roads, and you would never know. And they just, and you go anywhere, like with them things all over. Well, you can drive down the street in Quartzsite.
Yeah,
So
if you'll license them, well, that's
yeah,
one thing they were smart
yeah,
about.
yeah. But it is kind of cool to see because, if you go up to somebody and say, well, what do you think of Quartzsite? Well, let's put it to in perspective. Okay, you go there right now. We're talking the middle of August. It's 115 to 120 degrees above zero, and there's maybe 500 people living there. 500 maybe. Now, if you go back there in January 15th, it'll be 70 degrees, and there'll be 300 to 500,000 people there. And they don't get it. They just don't. They say, no way. Well, yeah, there's a way. Believe me.
People don't realize how big that damn.
Yeah, they don't. Like, they just don't. It's like you take, and the way I tell it to people is you go from Vegas to Yuma. Take the little towns and put a circle around where all the houses are in the towns, right? Except for the Indian Reserve. And then all the rest is BLM. You can stay on it all if you want, except for the Indian Reserve. You have to pay a permit for that, which is all right. They're pretty good to get along with. But there's so much here. And like everybody says, well, you got to stay here for 15 days, and then you got to move here for 23 miles for here. You could stay here all winter. 1 year I'm going to do it just to prove a point, is that you could come into Quartzsite and stay at, say, for instance, you stay at Ehrenberg 2 weeks, and then you go over to High Jolly. This is all 14-day stuff. And then you go to Plumosa Road, and then you go to Parker, and then you go back to Dome Rock, and then you go back to Ehrenberg. Okay, we're already in almost January by now, and you just keep moving around. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all to do it.
There's a lot of people who go out there that don't pay that $180.
I know. You don't have to. You can you don't even have to pay nothing. All you have to, if you do the 14, you don't even have to pay nothing. Like we come down here for 3 years when we first started coming down. When Billy, I don't know, I have to ask what year it was, but I think it was 17 or 18 that we were coming down. We were his representative, and we never paid a nickel for a campsite the whole year. Never. No. But now we buy the 180 thing to dump the tanks, right? Because the hobos screwed it all up in Ehrenberg. You don't have a dump there anymore. So,
well, that's the only thing. Time you pay to dump and you pay for water and drive to get rid of your trash, it's just the $180 is pretty cheap.
Well, it costs you that to dump it anyway.
Yeah.
It costs when we were doing it the first year. Al asked me what the cost was, and it was $179 for water and sewer for the same. So it's the same thing, and we don't have to pull the trailer anywhere. We just pull it out the end of the road and dump the tanks.
I think when I was out there the first time, it was $140. I think they went up on. Yeah. But I tell you what amazes me is you can leave Quartzsite and go down to Yuma, and it's how much different Yuma is.
Totally different. It's like a different. It's like Quartzsite is a really Quartzsite Parker is your typical. I wouldn't say backwater, but Western town. Like you think, like you get places like, and it's really funny, and I say this to everybody, is you get into places like Parker and Quartzsite and Williams, and like honest to God, you get into Williams up in the top and then Ponderosa Pines, and you swear to God that little Hoss is going to come riding out in his horse. Yeah. You swear to God, because it's just the way it is, right? And it's just, and the thing about it is that, and you know, because you've been here, is that people say, why the hell would you go to the desert? Well, for one thing, if you've never been there, you have to go see it. For one thing, I took pictures of Squatterville, and there's a bank there that's almost 80 feet deep down. And, well, that's not there. I says, well, yeah, it is. It's exactly there. And people just think the desert's flat and there's nothing on it. Well, that's not true. Like, it's not flat at all. Not really flat at all. The only place it's flat is like in the Mojave, which is up north by Barstow. But it's kind of interesting. So
Timmy Ray, you can just about bring anything you want out there. A lot of people go out there in tents.
yeah, there's a lot of people this year with tents. It's amazing how many people are with tents. I was surprised. But there's not hardly any. I don't notice any animals this year. Not like, like Squatterville. We used to have lots of animals, and like coyotes and stuff. I don't see much out here in Midland, north of Blythe. I don't see it very much at all. But
I tell you another part of Arizona that just cracks me up, and that's the eastern part.
you take them Globe, Arizona.
What's the Show Low and all up in there. Oh man, that's beautiful.
There ain't no desert up there, baby. They even get snow up there.
Oh yeah.
It's just amazing. Like you take, like they say, well, Flagstaff's in Arizona. Yeah, but Flagstaff's a lot cooler than it is in. Like Flagstaff gets snow too. The thing is that you come up from Arizona, from Phoenix to Flagstaff. It's like what is it, 2 hour drive? So 200K or so, 175K, and you go up like 3,000 feet. Like you can feel the difference, like really difference with the weather. It's amazing.
The first time I come through that part of the country, Payson was just getting started.
Yeah, that's a nice place.
Yeah,
I love that place.
And it was just, and they did it cool because they didn't knock all the trees down and build the houses and stuff like that. The fire plugs right out there in the trees.
Yeah. No,
apparently that was a big ranch right in the middle of that national forest.
Yeah.
And when they sold it, there was enough for that town. And I had a chance to buy some lots and stuff there when I was up there. And the next time I come through there a year later, good Lord.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's kind of a cool place, because like people say it's a desert and all that, and what the hell do you do out there and that? You can't tell people what you do because they wouldn't believe you anyway. No. And you get into places like Payson and even Phoenix is probably the flattest you're going to get, right? And you get into, like, you go into Lake Havasu, you're going to say, where the hell is this place? It's in Arizona. Really? And there isn't a flat rock in the place. And it's just gorgeous there, right? Like you got all the nice water and all that stuff, And Lake Havasu, you'd never. Are you sure this is in Arizona? Yeah, it's in Arizona. Yeah.
Timmy Ray, you can take a tent out there. You can sleep in your car. Right. You can just about do anything you want to do.
And the weather's reasonable, because you get into Arizona here, like the most we ever get is maybe 2 or 3 days of rain. But rain it's just enough to wet the window, basically. You don't get any downpours. Like their monsoons are in the summer, right? And we don't get very much rain here at all, really. No. I can't, we only had 2 days of rain so far. So it's not bad.
Roy, that's something that a lot of these people that start getting into RVing, they don't understand, is that I've got a lady I know that I helped get a trailer here a few years ago, and she called me the other day, had some problem with a hot water heater. And I told her what to check. But anyway, we were talking about, the expenses you have you go put a roof on a house.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing to spend $5,000, $10,000 to put a roof on a house. But then somebody would go spend a couple $1,000s on a travel trailer, and oh my God, this is a
Oh
piece of
yeah.
damn junk.
You get some of them roofs on them RVs are worth down near the same amount of money.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
it's just a house. That's what people don't realize. You just can move your house.
yeah.
That's the difference. And it is cheap. Now I have to say, you can live about as cheap as you won't live like that.
Well, I've been doing this for 30 years, and it's like I did it so that I didn't have the high expense of rent and all that stuff because I couldn't afford it, right? But you get into an RV and you can, you find all places to, and I was working out of it full time. And I've done it for a long time, in like 30 years, and I never had an issue at all. And the thing is that you can save so much money because you're not like in Alberta, we were paying like $1,200-$1,400 a month just for rent. By the
Yeah,
time you paid all the gas and all that crap, you're up to 2 grand. Well, that's 2 grand of your money that you're keeping in your pocket, and that makes a big difference.
it
That
does.
takes you from eating macaroni and cheese or bologna to eating the odd steak every once in a while.
I
So
tell you what, I've never lived this cheap in my life.
no, no,
And then I live full time in a travel trailer.
yeah,
And now I did, since all this crap, this virus and stuff come up, I had a buddy of mine that had 17 acres, and I rented a place from him.
yeah,
And I paid like 440 a month,
yeah,
and the electricity and everything went up, so I jumped it up $100. But hell, that's everything. I
yeah,
mean, $440 a month, and you don't have any bills. You don't mow the grass. You don't do none of that BS.
no.
No
And that's the
tax.
thing. That's the thing about it. Like people don't get like say like the winters. Like when we go through the winters cost us big money. Like it cost us the last winter, not last. Well, last year we stayed in the house. It wasn't too bad. And even to stay in the house and stay in the trailer, it's a little cheaper in the house because you don't have to pay no um, rent or any mortgage or nothing, right? So it's a little cheaper. But then when you get in, like we stayed that winter in the trailer, that was expensive. It would have been. I know at the time we said, well, we're not going to pay the $5,000 to get it towed across the border because you could get it towed across the border and then you could go down. I said, no, that's ridiculous. Well, we paid more. We paid almost that same amount in fuel and gas and propane to keep it warm. So, and building the structure and so on. It's not like I gotta tend to believe blind views in a little way because it's not really cheaper. It's just a different way of putting money. Like if you have a house, your biggest expense is going to be the mortgage and paying the mortgage and the power. Where if you got an RV, if you pay for the RV, if you don't own the RV, you have that payment, but you can get them paid for like 25 years, so it's really cheap. But if you don't, then your biggest cost is gas. That's why, you don't hear me complain about the price of gas because I don't have, that's all our expenses is gas, right? That's our biggest expense is gas and food. That's it, you know.
Well, it's a funny deal. Yeah, you got some maintenance on one. Like I had my furnace went out in this trailer here a month or two ago, and damn, my furnace was like $1,400.
Yeah,
But now I had a furnace go out in that house of mine.
same thing. I
It
just
was
put one in.
it was 5 or 6 thousand because
Yeah,
it had the old Freon in it, and
yeah,
they had to put the inside unit and the outside unit down.
yeah.
And
Like we
so,
just put one in the house. It was what 4,200 bucks Canadian, and it's it's like Blindview said, it's give one and take the other, right? It's not any cheaper. It's just where how the money's spent, right? Because you still have to take care of the thing. Like these things, it's like hauling a hurricane or a tornado or a earthquake down the road. Every time something is not breaking, but you have to keep an eye on it, right? And um, we've been pretty lucky. This trailer we got is pretty good. It hasn't given us really much problem. But you know, you have to stay on it all the time. And if you think you're going to hook it up to your truck and drive it for 5 years like we have, we're in our sixth year now, and not do nothing to it, don't buy it and don't hook it to your truck,
No,
because
that's
that's
right.
not the case. That's not the case. Like, we don't tell everybody what we do, but we're on our third set of tires. Like, we get 150,000 miles on this trailer pulling it around. So we're on our third set of tires already.
Well, I tell you what, here in Texas, property taxes are high,
Yeah.
and so you don't have any of that. You buy
No.
your license plate once a year. You can, if you want to live cheap, now you can,
Yeah.
and you know,
And
'cause
that's the
they're
thing where they sort of take this hoboism and just put it to the wrong, like they take it the wrong way. Like, the BOB gets up there and says, "Oh yeah, move into a van and move on the desert." Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is just, if you can't afford an apartment or something, buy an RV and live in an RV or live in a van or whatever you want to do, and you have all that money to play with, and you can do all kinds of stuff.
yep,
And like, if you go, you could go, like, you have to. There's a lot more into what I'm saying, believe me. But if you want to go get an RV and put it on a campground, or you put it on somebody's lot or whatever, and say, "Here, I'll give you $1,000 a year to park it here." Yeah, okay. They don't care. And then it's a good way to live, because you have a lot more money, and you don't have to go and get a raise or nothing, because you can live on the money you're making now.
yeah,
I'd say about 90% of the people, if they got into an RV, they would be living really high off the hog.
yeah.
Really high off the hog.
Well, it's like I said. 400-500 bucks really pays for my basic. If I don't go
Yeah,
someplace, or you know,
yeah,
and
yeah,
groceries you're gonna buy anyway, that don't make no difference.
yeah.
And the
Well, just like, what's her name's from Canada there, Paula and what's his name? They're from Ontario. A girl, a guy in a motorhome. They wrote years ago, and now it's called Reality, the True Reality or something. But they went. They did the same thing. They got into a motorhome, like a B class, and they lived in that for 2 years, and they banked all their money and went and bought a house. That gave them the down payment, right? Because the two of them working, you're pulling in some serious coin, you
yeah,
know, and they were able to save and, like, this is nothing new to us. Like in the 70s up in Canada, in around Edmonton, this was not rare. Like the bus people, it was not rare, because people would go buy a school bus, then they put stuff in it to live, and then they go live in an RV park and save all their money, and then they go buy a house, because the house is still around the 200, 300,000 mark at that time, and they just take all the money and they could save it, because they're still paying good money in Alberta, just like they are in Texas, right? For the oil people. And so they just take the money and they just keep it, and
well, you,
save it.
up until the RV parks have gone up some, but I think they're starting to come back down a little bit. They overbuilt them there for a
Yeah, but,
while. Here in Texas,
even,
every damn corner had an RV park going in,
yeah,
and
but,
the prices went up. A bunch of corporations got to buying these big RV parks and putting the resort type ones in. Well,
yeah,
now they're half empty.
yeah.
They
But
so
the,
it's
the
going
thing
down.
is, too, is like some people, a lot of people can't do that RV camping stuff, right? They don't want to do that. But the difference living in an RV and living in a house is not that different.
Uh-uh.
It's You have a fridge, you have a stove, and you have a heater. It's all basically the same. And the thing about it is, if you don't want to tow the thing around, like I never towed my trailer for, holy Jesus, almost 10 years. I never even towed it. I just parked it in the parking lot at work, and I lived in it there because I could. I was able to do that, and you don't have to tow it. Like even people, you get, well, I got to get a trailer and I got to tow it. You don't have to tow it. If you want to go to an RV park, like take Brenda, Arizona, you go in there and you can rent a lot for $1,300 a year, but you got to take it every month. You can't buy it for 1 month and then you can't do that. But you can get it for $1,300 a year, and you just put your trailer in there and you just leave. You don't need a car. You don't need a truck to pull it around. You don't need it.
Well,
You just park it and life goes on. It's like a mobile home, basically, except smaller.
you know what is funny, and I get tickled. I crack up at Blind Views because he hates Bob Wells. Well, Bob Wells is, I don't agree with everything he does, but now I've learned a lot from him on some equipment and some other stuff. He taught a lot of people, and he making money. Well, the hell with it. I thought that's what you're supposed to do if you had a job.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't even get into that stuff because I know Bob, and Bob is not a people person.
No,
Like what he is on the camera is not what he is in person. He's a totally different person. But I'm not going to go there. You go find that out for yourself. But what he's doing and how he's doing it, they're just people want to help people, and they don't care if they have to, what they have to do it, and they're sending tons of money. So what's he going to do? I says, take the damn money and put it in the bank, Bob. And then that's when he started Howa, and it's just.
well, it got too big for Bob.
Well, it is huge. Like
Oh,
it's freaking huge.
I think the first time I went down there were like less than 1,000 people at the RTR.
Yeah,
It
that
was,
was his third year. The first
yeah,
time it was 50, then it was 100, then it was 500 the next year. Now it's like if they don't put a limit on it, it's 10,000.
yeah. The
20,000.
next time I just drove through it, it was 10,000 people,
Yeah. Like the
and
biggest problem with the RTR is the RTR, and that I've never been there because the RTR is made for people that just got into it.
that's
And
right.
they go there, and Bob and his cronies, they'll teach you all kinds of stuff. They'll tell you how to set up tent up, or they'll tell you how to save money, or they'll tell you how to get rent, or anything. They'll tell you it's made for the people that just get into it. And you don't have to be a van lifer. You can have a trailer, you can have a camper, you can have whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a camper, a van, a bus, or a holiday trailer. It's the same thing. It's a place to live in besides a house. And that's what the RTR is for. So people like me and all them damn YouTubers that go over there, that's not what it's designed for. That is not what it's designed for. It's made for people that want to get into it and they don't know how to do it. Go to the RTR and go to all the stuff they teach you, and you'll learn. That's what they do. That's what Bob's been doing since day one. And he might be like watching paint to dry, and he might be a bad attitude. He might be an introvert, but that's what he can do.
Yeah,
And he's done it for a lot of people.
yeah. And I tell you what, now he does one thing Howard does that I like the sound of. He's got those caravans set up.
Yeah.
And
And that's a good thing. I
yeah,
like the caravans. I've never been on one. I've been invited. Brian from Adventure Van Man invited me over, and Randy, the mobile traveler, invited me to go to them. But see, and that's where I draw the line because I'm not. That's not what they're for. They're made for the people that don't know how to do it and go there. And like Brian the Van Man's going to do one here right the next month or so, and these guys been doing it for 7-8 years, and they know what you got a problem. Well, how do I park my trailer? Well, just put it like this or put it like that. That's what it's made for. What do I do with this chain on this trailer? What's it for? It's a safety chain so it doesn't fall off. What do you do with it? And they show you how to hook it up. That's what the caravans are for. And the other thing is that women that get into this traveling by themselves, I don't agree with it. But with the caravans, they can get there and they have that little security net. You got more people, right? And the chances of anybody bothering you is slimmer. Like nothing happens, but I still don't like it. I just
But you
don't.
know, Badge, I don't know how it is this year because this year's sort of crazy out there. But I've been in an RV for a long time and around them, and I think there's more solo women in the RVing deal than there is men.
Yeah, and there's some like the funny part about it is that everybody that in the thing that they try to put across is that, like, I'm not going to say names who do it, but they try to put it across that you buy an RV, you live in the RV, and everything's going to be perfect. Well, it's not going to be perfect
No,
because whatever skeletons you got in the closet before you moved into the trailer, they'll move into the trailer with you too. So you always have them skeleton. But the only good part, this is the amazing thing, and you've been there, Ron. So this is the amazing thing about it is when you get into a trailer, van, whatever, something that's not a house, and you come out to the anywhere, like you can go anywhere, like anywhere in North America, and you're sitting there with a bunch of campers. The one thing is, they all have the same thing in common. They want to sit there and camp.
yeah,
They want to do that. So you got that one thing in common. Where if you're sitting in your house at home and you're sitting on the lawn chair out front, nobody's going to come up and talk to you because they don't want to sit there and talk to you because they have other stuff to do. They're not thinking about just sitting there and having a beer or something. They got to do this or do that. Where out in the desert or wherever you go, them people are sitting in the lawn chairs by the campfire. They know they'll want to sit there and talk to you or whatever you want to do. And the good thing about a trailer compared to a house is if the neighbor next to you is an asshole, you hook it up to your truck and off to
yeah.
the sunset.
Diane, I'll agree with you there. I've helped a bunch of people get started, and with buying trailers and first hookup and that kind of stuff, parking them and just getting them set up on it. But I think the difference, and I met women that were married and their husbands didn't like to camp, and they get in that damn trailer and leave for 3 or 4 months at a time.
Yeah.
And then there were others that were widows and that kind of stuff. And a woman can do it just as well as a man, but they're more timid about doing it. And
Yeah.
I think that's what surprised me about how many women were doing it compared to single guys. You
Yeah,
know,
there's quite a few. And, you know, and the thing about, I don't really say much to them because you got to know these people before you start beaking off at them. And some of them are pretty good. Like, there's a lot of them. Like, you take Carolyn Rebel, RV Rebel Girl. She just, you know, they're just, she got this down to a science.
oh
Of
yeah,
course, stuff happens to her every day. Of course. But she's like one was the Yellow Brick Road. Shirley, she just started this like 3 years ago, and she'd never done it before. And now, she's been at it for 3 years. She's an old hand at it. She's not an expert by any means, but she knows how to do it. And she's single, and she does it. Her husband passed away, and she just carried on.
yeah. Well,
And
you look at C Dub or Frugal
yeah,
Gal,
C Dubs is
or
another one. She does it.
it
But C Dubs kills it. She's just unbelievable. Or even
Frugal is the same way. Frugal been on the road for 5 or 6 years,
Frugal. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Frugal.
and
She's Fugal or C Dubs or um, the one about what I'm trying to say about is Lola.
yeah,
That's a prime example. She's got a van. She lives at home and she works every day. and they still classify her as a nomad when she's not really a nomad. She's just living a good life, you know.
Well,
But yeah, there's a lot of them out there that can. And the thing about it is that the good part about it is that um, if you're a single female and you get on the road, these people are out there, and you just ask them. They won't, like C Dubs or Fugal or Carolyn at RV Rebel Girl. They'll answer your question, no problem at all.
oh yeah.
Not they wouldn't even give it a second thought.
Mm. When I started this channel, my deal for starting this channel was one thing. There were people that were wanting to go full time, and they couldn't make it with the mortgage and all the bills and stuff. They were just scraping by, and I tried to put out that you can try this lifestyle without spending $100,000 or 200,
Yeah,
300.
totally.
Get in your car, go buy you a damn tent. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, hell, I've camped off motorcycles. I've camped out of kayaks. You know, it.
You you don't even need a tent, just a sleeping bag and curl up under a tree. You don't
Yeah,
need
yeah,
like
and
that's the
and
thing. Like everybody, like a lot of the worst thing is that people they want to get into it, and the first thing they'll do is, "Oh, what should I buy?"
yeah,
And the first thing that comes out of my mouth is it doesn't matter because whatever you buy, you will definitely get rid of it and buy something else.
yeah,
So don't even worry about it because the only one that's going to buy something like me and Al is that I've been doing it for 30 years, so I know what I want, and this is what I want. This is exactly what I want. But if you've never done it, you don't know. Look at Chrome. Chrome's a prime example. He's a total prime example. He started out in a van, little bit at a time, all IKEA stuff, and just kept going and going and going. And now look at what he's got today. And like he says, and the funny one is the school buses, because if you get in a school bus and you get steampunk, and you know yourself,
yeah.
they're never done. So you get a bus and they'll every time. Look at Michael, for crying out loud, in New York. He built that brand new Ivan, right? Brand new, never used it, and he's rebuilding it. He hasn't even used it, but he doesn't like it because that's the way it is. You just keep changing it, and
If I
for you to
if I could start over for me now, and I'm talking about the single guy that liked the motorcycles and stuff, I'd go buy me a damn 27, 28 foot 8 by 28 cargo trailer
and redo it,
and
yeah,
redo the damn thing like I wanted it and leave 3/4 of this crap you got in a travel trailer out of it,
yeah.
because I don't use half of this junk. And
Well, people laugh about it, but we got this RV. It's a total RV, and it's totally well. I we can't even sell it now because we've modified it so bad that it's a boondocker. It doesn't have an oven. It doesn't have a stove. It doesn't have a microwave. It doesn't have none of that stuff because they're energy hounds, right? We got an electric water heater. Well, we got a propane water heater with electric, um, with the 120 on it to speed it up. That's all on hook because we don't need it, you know. And we got the main heater in the trailer is propane. It's a guzzle on power. So we have a Wave 8 that we hook up that we permanently put in, and that's what heats the trailer. And it's just a boondocking machine. This, you could put it in a trailer in a yard, I guess, if you wanted to. Like the only thing we have to do is really to make it 100% boondocker now is just put a composting toilet, which is not really a composting toilet because if you're a composter, you know that it takes anywhere from 6 to 8 months. Well, you're not going to leave that stuff in there that long, believe me. But yeah,
the only thing that I really noticed different on living in an RV and living in a house, you basically got the same thing. Is the
yeah,
black water and the freshwater tank. You
yeah,
know, you got a
yeah,
worry about your water, and you got to worry about your sewer. But other
Yeah.
than that, and if you're sitting in a trailer park, all that's hooked up. You go out there and open the valve on the sewer every once in a while, you know.
Yeah. Like it's just
Yeah,
like
and
it's the
that's something
same.
I'm gonna say right now because
It's still the
people
same thing, you know. It's still
people
it's the same thing. It's just a little different.
yeah,
Like
people do this. I've seen some people really get in bad trouble over it. Is
people,
if anybody in here got a travel trailer and they park it, do not leave that damn sewer valve open.
no,
Close
that's
that
the
damn
worst thing.
sewer valve. Oh
Yeah.
man, I've seen some people stop up them tanks so bad that they like to.
You know,
Yeah,
the funny part about it is though is that blind views, he's just pissing himself laughing when I told him all this stuff. But like we were in, like I've been doing this for 30 years. Al was done it for about 5 before we moved into the house, and stupid stuff that you do. Like you go to the bathroom and you look for the lever on the side of the toilet to
yeah,
flush it. How many?
yeah,
I bet you I punched that floor 100 times in the house because
yep,
you're looking for the lever. Or you go get a shower and you get your pitcher and pour the cold water out of the hot water tube until it gets hot, right? And then you pour that back in your drinking water or into the tank, back in the tank. Well, in the house you don't do it; you just let it run. So I go into the house and I turn on the water and I'm using the pitcher. And I says, Michael, this thing uses 3 pitchers of water to get the water hot. Well, yeah. I said, no, that's wrong. I said, I just wasted 3 pitchers of water. But in town, it's not a big deal. But out here, 3 pitchers of water is a lot of water.
yeah,
So I says, what are we going to do? So we redid all the water system and we got it down to just about half a pitcher,
yeah.
you know. And it's just amazing. Like, I shouldn't even tell you about this one, but this is funny. So when we moved in the house, there was a piece of paper in the drawer, and it said, when it gets below zero, down on the water meter, there's a little tap, turn it open. Okay. I said, what the hell is that for? So I looked at this, and it's before the meter. So I phoned the town guy, and I says, what the hell's with this? Well, you're on a you're on a low flow system. I said, what do you mean a low flow system? Well, the water lines are they don't flow. Well, I said, well, maybe we should fix that. No, just open that tap up. So this tap runs, it's a 1/4 inch line. So it runs probably about a half a gallon every couple of minutes, right? That's a lot of water. Mind you, we're not paying for it. But that's how they stop it from freezing up in the wintertime. Stupid like that. I said, and then of course, me and I said, hell, you know what I should do? I should put a tank up in the garage, run that line up there and fill it up. No, no, no.
Oh Lord.
But that's the funny things, the stupid things
Yeah,
when you're in an RV or when you get in the house, right? Like, yeah.
yeah. You can serve stuff that you don't even think about in the house.
Like water's a big deal. Like we go through anywhere from 5 to 10 gallons a day. So, because I have a shower every day. So, you gotta just, think about it and see, now we're over in Midland. We have to go over to La Posa to get water, which is like 35 miles. But now we go to the rest areas and we can get it. So there's a lot of things you do, or get propane and give the guy a couple bucks and say, "Can I get some water?" And yeah, you do all kinds of stuff like that. Like water's not really a big issue right now. Like the hobos screwed it up in Ehrenberg. That was such a good system. You could go in
I,
there and get water, sewer, and everything, and laundry, and do it all right there. It was so good.
I'll be
But,
right back. I gotta let this dog out.
well, I can't see the comments though. Oh, I
Well,
can. No,
talk to him.
I can't see the chat. I can't see the chat. Sorry. But anyway, I'll talk about something, I guess. But yeah, so that's when if you people are thinking about, and the hardest thing about it is that people say, well, I want to do it, but I don't get around to it. The thing is that you have to, the thing is a mindset. You just have to make your mind up if you want to do it or not. And there's nothing wrong with trying it and going back. There's not a problem at all. It's not made for everybody because it's a full-time job is what it is basically, because you still have to get water. Like in the house, you don't. Your water's there, your gas is there, your hydro's there, everything's there. You don't have to worry about it. Well, when you're out here, you have to get it yourself. You have to get your own water. You have to get your own solar. You have to get your own power. You got to get it all. So, and your own propane. So it's just it's just a different, it's the same thing, but different. And so, like, the worst thing I find is people, and it just irks me, is they'll say, well, I always want to do it, but I just never get around to it. Well, that means you really don't want to do it because if you did, you'd do it. Like when I did it, I never even thought about it. I just got everything together, bundled it up, threw it in the RV trailer, and poof, down the road. Like I wasn't even 3 hours and I was in the trailer because that's what I wanted to do. So, like I say, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But if you say you want to do it, then go try it. I'm not saying it's for everybody. I'm not saying that at all. But it is a good way to save a ton of money. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I tell you what, the my best advice to somebody that won't get into it is go buy you a damn tent and a sleeping bag and
Yeah, just try it.
and just go camping for a month.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
of course an RV is going to be more convenient than that, but you're not going to spend anywhere from
No.
30 to $100,000 on a trailer.
But the thing is yourself, Ron, you know this yourself. Like some people, they like a lot, like I'd say almost 40, 50% of the people that say they want to do it will never do it anyway because they just won't do it. They'll keep coming up with excuses. And if you want to do it, you don't come up with excuses. You come up with ways to get to do it. Is what you do. And the thing is that um, a lot of people, and you know yourself, you've been there, is you get out in the desert or in a campground or something, put your lawn chair up, and there's no sounds around there. No, it's so quiet, you can hear a pin drop. People can't stand that.
Yeah, that's
They,
true.
they have to take, they want some noise and racket and all that stuff. I can get away without that. Or I can get away with not seeing people. I can do that. It's not a big deal.
It doesn't bother me, but I've I've hunted a lot, and I've really got amused at some of what you're talking about right there. You take some kid out there that's lived in the city all his life, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
take him out there hunting, and every time a cricket chirps or
What's that?
an owl or something else, they stay up all night listening to all the stuff.
But it's I like most of the time I have people ask me and I say, well, try it. You might like it. Because if you want to save money and you want to call your own shots, it's definitely the way it is. Because you're renting right now, you're not calling the shots because they're telling you, pay me some rent, pay me some rent. Well, if you're in an RV, you don't have to do that. So, you know,
You know,
like
when
even RVs, you can go to the RV store, and if you got a full time job, you can get a never ending payment plan for um, like I think this place was what $180 a month.
yeah,
Almost anybody can pay that. So,
one of the funniest things, a prime example of what we're talking about. The first time I went to Quartzsite, I had just bought a casita.
oh,
That was
that's a nice trailer.
one of the little ones.
Those are nice trailers.
Yeah, I still got that thing. And my daughter said,
Really?
yeah, my
Boy,
daughter said she wanted it, and it's been sitting there 2 years, and she ain't come picked it up yet. So I think I'm fixing to sell it. But
don't make
uh,
me that offer.
hmm?
Don't make me that offer. You want to come and get it because I'll be there tomorrow. Jesus, Murphy, yeah.
that
No, and
I
that's the thing. I don't know.
well,
See, and the funny thing about it is, if people say they want to try it or they don't know if they want to get into it, if you talk to people that are around your area that you know that they got RV trailers, probably one would give you one to try.
Yeah.
And, like try it. Say just here, take it for the weekend and try it. You're not going to destroy the thing.
Well, the first time I went to Quartzsite, I had that casita, and there were 2 couples and 3 single ladies that wanted to go to Quartzsite, but they never had really taken any long trips or anything. And the 3 women had just bought them. So I told them, I said, I'm not guiding anybody. I'm going to leave such and such date, and I'm going to Quartzsite, and I'll take 3 days going out there, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Well, we ran that first day and got out at Ballarat Springs or whatever it is, parked there on 10, and spent the night. And one of them gals come to me. She said, I'm going home. I said, what the hell? Had a brand new casita.
Yeah.
She said,
But
it is scaring me to death to pull this
yeah.
damn trailer.
Yeah.
And she,
Some people can't do that.
Yeah, she went home and sold that trailer. She kept it about 2 weeks, and
But
that's
at least you tried it.
Yeah, she some people just not geared for it.
No, some people are not geared for it. That's what I'm saying. Not every it's all well and good to sit here and say, "Oh yeah, sell everything, get move into a trailer, and life will be just grand." Well, that's not the case because it's still like if you think you're going to sell everything, move into a trailer, and there's not going to be nothing to do. That's the wrong way to think because that's not the way it is at all. Not at all.
And
Like,
most people start this lifestyle, and for the first year or so, they think you got to pull in someplace and camp and get up the next morning and drive 500 miles.
No.
And that's not what this is about.
No. And that's a good thing about being down in Quartzsite at the LTVAs, the long-term visitor areas, because you can buy it for $180. You can bring your trailer in here and leave it in one spot for the whole 7 months. You don't even have to move. Whereas you go on to BLM land, you have to move every 14 days, right? And you have to go at least 25 miles. So that's the thing. But that's still not a big deal.
I've got some friends of mine that live in Michigan, and every year they hire one of those drivers out of Elkhart, and to pull their trailer down to Quartzsite, and they pull it in there and leave it for 6 months. Then they hire somebody to put it back to Michigan. They don't even own a truck, and it's a big fifth wheel.
Honestly, I don't want to be a stick in the mud, but I'm gonna honestly, if you did that, you would probably cost you probably $1,500 to haul it from Michigan to Quartzsite, right? And you go buy a Ford pickup with a 6-liter in it, you're going to put that in just putting injectors in it, if not more. And to repair some of this stuff, like right now, the average right now for a diesel pickup truck to change the oils over $250.
Yeah.
So that pulling the trailer is not a bad idea. Like I always say to everybody that if you're in a spot and you need your trailer pulled to Arizona or something, when I'm down here, I haven't got a problem. I'll go get the thing and bring it. But people always want to have their own vehicle, right?
I think the going right now is about $1.50 a mile, something like that.
Yeah.
So, and they drove down, and they had a little old car that got 35, 40 miles a gallon. Yeah. They drove down from Michigan, didn't cost them hardly anything. But it's every kind of, you can do it any kind of way you want to.
Yeah. It's not cheap hauling this stuff. Like, believe me. And if I could find, and the funny part about it was before COVID, the year COVID started in 1920, I was seriously thinking of leaving the trailer in Parker. There's a plot there you can leave for $25 a month in a compound, right? I said, I was thinking about it, but then I said, well, no, if we go back to Canada, we got nothing to sleep in or to camp in, right? Because we, we had, or we were going to get it, we had the house, right? So, um, it's one thing and the other, but, if you leave it down here, but we like this thing so much, we just pull it around anyway because it's a good trailer. But
You talking about the casita a while ago? When
yeah,
I bought that casita, I paid 19,000 for it.
yeah, and you could sell it for that today.
For right now, it'll bring 22, 23,000.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's the best trailer on the road. If it was about 3 foot longer and another foot wider, that would
yeah.
be perfect
It's
damn
just a
trailer.
little on the small side for us with two dogs. We were thinking about going. Everybody goes on about the price of gas, but the problem is that it changes, and it changes a lot when you own your equipment. If you own the trailer and you own the truck, that's your biggest cost is the gas. So for us to go and buy like a smaller vehicle and get a smaller trailer, it would cost us because even though we have this one to sell it, we're going to sell it for what 35,000. That's what it's going to cost for a smaller trailer now.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's no game there, right? And to sell the truck, what are you going to get? 25,000 for it? You can't
Maybe.
even buy a Volkswagen for 25,000.
No.
So yeah, that's the problem right now. Is everything's bought and paid for, so it's really hard to sell it to downsize. And the only like everything's paid for, so all we really have for cost is maintenance and gas, right? So, and we're running around the 8.5, 9 miles a gallon, so it's not too bad. So,
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm just about made up my mind I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna go ahead and set this trailer up and underpin it and do the whole 9 yards. And I'm thinking seriously about leaving this trailer here all the time and
yeah,
taking that casita and
well,
dolling it up and just do my
that
running at the casita.
ooh, that Casitas, they're a nice trailer, man. If I had one of them, I'd run the wheels right off the thing. Those are really, really nice. Very well built. They're built in Texas. Very well built.
Oh yeah, I talked to the man that owns that company,
Nice guy.
and yeah, he really is,
Yeah.
and his son-in-law and daughter, and we were talking about you know the need for about a 20, 21 foot trailer that's 8 foot wide, that's a glass trailer like that. And he told me, he says, Ron, said, I'm a year behind. We run from 6 months to a year behind on producing these trailers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And said it would take $1 million to build a mold, and then my building ain't big enough. I've got to expand the building.
And
And
then he's got to sell them.
yeah,
That's the
and
thing.
and he could sell them. I mean,
Yeah.
that ain't a problem.
Yeah.
But he's gonna have to clear $2 or $3 million just to get even.
Well, the other thing too is like if you ever seen the casita yard, he ain't got a whole bunch of room around there. It's
No, he
full
doesn't.
all the time. It's
No, it
full all the time. So by
yeah.
the
See,
time you buy it, it's just not worth it. And I don't. I think he'd probably sell two or three 19 footers to one or two 22s because
yeah.
people want small stuff, right? That's
The
because it's cheaper on gas, right? That's what they want. That's what they think. But
well, their smallest trailer is a 13 footer,
yeah,
and that's a little bitty sucker, boy.
yeah. But some people. That's all they need. Like Slim Potato Head. That's all he's got. He's got a Outland up in New Brunswick, and that's all he's got. 13 footer. Like look at Bowler. How many bowlers did they build? They built them things in the 70s, and they're still worth more than what they paid for them back in the 70s.
Oh yeah. Hey, Kenny,
Hey, Ron. Hey, Badge. Can you hear me, Badge? I can't hear you now, Badge.
can you hear him, babe? Nope.
Hey, Roy and Becky, Trebles, Diane, Jaws, Tim, uh, Land Cloud Adventures, Cookie, Amy, everybody in the chat. Hello, everybody.
How you doing, Mr. Kenny? You lost.
I'm hanging in there, taking it one day at a time. I talked with my dad yesterday, and he has he's been sick. He hadn't been able to eat. He hadn't been able to eat or drink anything, and thankfully they've been able to get his sodium levels back up, but they're still trying to figure out why he's not able to eat or drink anything. They're giving him IVs. And so yeah. Hey, Lorraine.
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it, Kenny.
Yeah, right now, his blood work and results have been like a yo-yo, up and down.
Go out and come back in.
Go ahead and come back in, Badge.
He can't hear it. Somebody type that in the chat. Tell him to go out and come back in, and then I'll highlight it and put it up where. Well, there he went. Hello, Nate. I like your new hat.
Thank you.
I've told you the story about my daughter putting that on her cat backwards. You ought to try it, turn it around and see how it works, Nate.
Oh, dear.
At Dallas.
Well, that's Pippa right there.
One too. I couldn't see
but both of them. You can't. There's the other. You're okay, Pippa.
Go ahead. How you doing, man?
Oh, we're doing all right. Dallas got her stitches out today. So the cone is all mine now. This is mine, baby. I gotta get my money's worth.
There you go. That's an expensive little piece of plastic, isn't it?
Oh, I don't even know what it was worth. I don't know what I paid for it.
It don't matter. You got to take care of them little ones.
Yeah. Look at that fluffy face. Look at her. She's getting used to this, Ron. She might start demanding a salary soon.
I'll tell you what, them dogs are something else. That little old dog of mine is grown up enough that he got where he likes that loving now. And they get in that habit right quick.
Yeah. But I keep telling people I'm going to wear this because I got to get my money's worth.
Yeah, well.
I don't know how much I paid for it, but I'm going to get my money's worth out of this damn cone because I know Dallas didn't like it.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, though, you try to kiss a good-looking woman, she's going to have some big lips.
Well, you know what I thought on Tanya's and Derek's earlier, Van Life Voyages? When we get to Q23, we might have to do a game of toss Nate something in the cone. Why not?
I can see Nate now looking for some big lip women. Oh, Lord. That might get interested in certain positions, Nate.
Yeah, I do know how to take it off, Ron. I'm not stuck like this. In an emergency. It clips off. Oh, wait. It
Hey,
doesn't.
Janice.
Uh-oh. Pippa, how do I get this off?
She said, she's probably enjoying that.
I
But,
guess
yeah,
I'm stuck with it now. I'll be like Dallas. She just bangs her head around.
bad.
She just goes boom, boom.
Badge, come on back up. You had to do that other night.
Say hi. This is
You may have
the
to drop the link
Oh, no.
again because I think it done disappeared.
Well, he's in the
Chat there.
yeah, he's in the chat. He's probably here while I'm playing now.
Put your head up, Dallas.
That was strange when you brought me up and then just lost audio with Badge.
He did that other night. Somebody came up and he lost audio.
Thank you, Janice. Thank you. I think I can build on this look.
Yeah, I did. I found that I ran across that pic today, Lorraine. That's a cute look. I bet that'd make it easy to stand on your head, Nate.
No, you'd be surprised. It doesn't. I tried it earlier.
You couldn't do it?
No, it has no strength. I thought the same thing, Ron. I said, I'm going to stand on my head now. True story.
You got a reverse cone here.
I can't even get my head low enough right now. Pippa, what do you do with me? What do you do with me? What do you do? Oh.
Yeah. I'm like Tim now. That'd make it interesting to hit the toilet, wouldn't it?
I don't know what that has to do with hitting the toilet.
No, I'm talking about to hit it. If you can't bend your damn head.
Not following. Everything else still works, Ron.
Stand up.
Well, I can't stand up. I got dogs on me. You're talking about the aim?
Yeah.
I can go like this.
Damn, I'd hate
Kitty,
to
what
clean
are you
his,
laughing at over there? I see you, Kitty. I
I'd
see
hate to
you
clean
laughing
his
over
damn
there,
trailer.
Kitty.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord, he says.
I'm laughing at what Ron was saying there.
I'd hate to have to clean his damn trailer up after he wears that for 3 or 4 days.
Who says I'm peeing in the trailer? Oh, I mean, I'm
That dog looks like he's talking.
This one. You talk. Oh, there you go. She's mad. She's yelling.
My dog's not that patient. He'll go to slapping you with them paws.
Dad. I'm not gonna mess with her. She just got her clearance today, so she's happy.
Yeah.
Stitches are out. She's allowed to run. We're gonna find when the rain stops, let her run a little bit.
I bet you enjoyed that.
She will. And she's happy not to be wearing this thing. I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
Dallas, you want to wear this? She's like, no. All right, guys, I'm going to drop down. I just wanted to say hi. Have a little bit of fun.
All right, Nate. You have a good one.
Holy cow, look at that.
Have a good one, Nate.
See you guys. Bye.
He can't reach the damn buttons.
Where's it at? I can't see it. How do I get out of here? Help.
I think he froze on the screen.
I think he did too. We'll do it that way. Put him in the basement. Oh Lord.
Hey, I'll take them 60s compared to what we're getting here. We're getting like 30s and 28 here, below 30s here. We're getting like in the 20s here. It's like 25 now, and we're getting snow over here.
Oh, you can have that stuff.
Yeah, because I don't want it.
Well, here it's been pretty. It got down a little cool last night. It got in 39 or something like that, but it was 60 today. But it's supposed to be in the 70 and the 80s the rest of the week.
I'll take that compared to what I'm having over here.
Yeah. I'll tell you
I'll
what.
take that any day compared to what I'm having over here.
Oh, I'm loving it. This is Texas weather here. Yeah, 50's cold, isn't it, Amy? Yeah, we've been as warm or warmer than y'all, haven't we, Ray? Most of the summer. Most of the winter.
Y'all don't get much snow in the wintertime in Texas?
Where I live, we might get 2 or 3 inches of snow every 4 or 5 years.
2 or 3 inches of snow about every 4 or 5 years?
Yeah. Most winters, it doesn't snow.
Most winters it don't snow. Okay, it's just cold, huh?
Well, Texas normally we'll get 2 or 3 days of rainy weather or cold weather or something. And then it'll get like it is now. And it'll be pretty for a couple of weeks. And then you get another cold spell come in, but don't normally last over 2 or 3 days. So the weather's not bad here. Have you seen any since you have been in in Abilene, Amy, or are you talking about in Amarillo? Yeah, you're far enough south though that y'all don't hardly ever get any snow down there, do you, Lorraine?
So it just banks on what part of Texas you're in on where the cold is at then, right?
Yeah, well, you take where Lorraine lives, it's about 400 miles south of me.
Ah.
And so she's within not over 100 miles of the Mexican border.
Yeah, well, I know she's talking about before. About how it would get like 100 and some odd degrees, and in the summer and in the summertime it'd be scorching hot, and
Yeah, it gets hot down there.
and things like that.
It gets hot up here. When I say hot, it's we'll get over 100 for probably 30 days in the summer, something like that. But I can put up with that. We had one day, I think about when you got that inch that the snow covered the ground here for a day, and it was gone the next morning. It's got colder here this year than normal though, because we got down to 13, I think, at one day.
Mm.
But I don't know, weather's just crazy. Look at California, all those storms they got out there, and they've been in a drought for hell for what, 5 years, something like that. Who's hollered?
Well, Amber just got up. She came home early today from work.
Mm.
She got the McNasty again. She tested positive for the McNasty
Hello,
today.
gal. How you doing?
Hey, somewhere up a creek, comedy fishing.
Yeah, y'all getting it, but at least y'all filling them lakes up a little bit, aren't you, Tim?
And the thing about it is, she had been sick for like 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, or ever how long. But she just now tested positive
Yeah.
today or yesterday, and so she's home for 5 days now. She won't get to go back to work till Thursday.
Mm. Somewhere up creek. How you doing?
Sorry to hear about your loss a couple months ago or a month ago, whatever it was. I heard about your loss. Sorry about that. Prayers and comfort for you and your family.
Oh, that's great. I was talking to somebody about you the other day. I hadn't seen you, and I was wondering how you were doing.
But
That is one funny lady right there now.
yeah, I've been to her. It's been a good little bit since I've been to her channel, but I have been to her channel before.
Yeah, that's great. Take a little time. Yeah.
But and on top of that, Scott, he's been sick. He's sick with something. Um, he actually went to work with whatever he's got.
Yeah.
He's working 12-hour shifts. Been working 12-hour shifts all week. He only got to come home early one night, and that was last night.
Yeah, that's bad, man. Having to work when you're sick, boy, that's a pain.
Yeah, I mean, what it is, one of the guys that he works with, his brother had died, and so that guy was taking the whole week off for bereavement, and so Scott had to be the one to step in to take. Had to be the one to step in, take it for his spot, so that's the reason why he's having to work 12-hour shifts.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to cover it. Well, I
so
hope everything turns out good, Amy.
yeah, hope everything turns out all right with your blood work there, Amy. Prayers
Hello,
for
T.
that. Hey, T.
Michael Ann.
Hey, Michael Ann. Yeah, thankfully, I'm going to try to knock on wood. I'm going to try to keep my distance, and hopefully I don't because I don't want to wind up with it again.
You sound like you're doing a lot better on your call.
Yeah. I don't want it again. I don't want it.
sick.
Yeah.
T, how you been doing? Haven't seen you in a few days.
Hey, T.
Of course, I've been coming on at weird times.
Yeah, I've noticed that you've been doing quite a few pop-ups here recently.
You know, something different. I've been trying to push Ava. That's one reason I've been doing those pop-ups, to hit some different people.
Ah, okay.
So
Trying to push Ava. Is she about got there to her 1,000?
yeah, what was it? When was it? 2 weeks? No, it was New Year's. That was my New Year's resolution, that I wanted to see if I couldn't help Ava get across the 1,000, and then we'll find somebody else to push. That's what I'm gonna try to do this year, is help people get over.
I saw. I don't know how close they are now, but I saw where Moonlight Adventures was only 100 away from 1,000. They were at 900. Moonlight Adventures. I'm talking about Josh and Chastity from Moonlight Adventures. They were at 900 the last time I saw their goal that they had.
Well, Ava was at 877, I think. Now she's at 945, or no, 948. So she like 52 more, and she'll be there. Yeah, well, we'll keep pushing. We'll get her there next week or so.
Yeah, she'll get there.
But I'll tell you what, you got to admit, Ava works hard at it. She got them 4 channels, and
Well, she's not the only one that's got 4 channels. Magnificent Germany with Darian's got about 4 of them himself. He's got the Magnificent Germany with Darian channel. He's got a Moment in the Word channel, and then he's got Whatever Floats My Boat with a Twist channel, and then he's got a violin channel. I forget what it's called, and then. But,
I don't understand the multiple channels, because it don't count. You know, she's got subs on her other channels, but they don't count on this one. They don't add all of them together.
Yeah.
But Ava and Doug work at it, between the music and the channels and all that kind of stuff. I know she got at least 4, maybe 5, and she keeps up with them.
Yeah, well, she's got Ava Potterfield and Friends, Ava's Meditations, and she's got Ava, Doug and Ava's Place.
Yeah. Well, then she just got a new one she got some kind of gadget that you hook up to a plant, and the impulses off that plant play music.
I can't think what it is.
I don't remember what that thing is. But
I don't remember.
Ava and them good folks.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jaws. I don't know how all that stuff works. It seems like the bigger you get, the more. How many subs have you got now, Jaws?
Who, me?
No, Jaws.
Oh, okay.
I really don't think that YouTube is doing as good as it was when that virus was going on. Everybody was staying at home, and they just flooded YouTube. And I've noticed that the numbers in these chats and the views
Mm-hmm.
dropped way down on a lot of these channels. They're not getting near the views.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Aegis Paranormal. That's the one.
Yeah, that's one of them. But like I say, those don't all count. I thought they did for a while, but well, don't they pay that Jaws on? Isn't it a different rate on different channels?
Hey, Osworth, Carl, Lacey, Sarah, Chelsea, and trying to think what is other.
Darn.
Well, I am a lot better as far as my cough goes and stuff, but like I said, like I said, that Brooke. Okay.
Hello, Carl. Hello, Claus. How y'all doing? Yeah. Well, I know
But my dad,
I've
my
got
dad,
some big YouTubers that I watch that are.
yeah.
You remember me telling you about that gal that's been on there like 3 or 4 months and had 175,000 subs?
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Well, boy, she was throwing a fit because her views have dropped way off, and she got a good channel. They, but I think it's dropped off on a lot of it. I don't think there's as many people on YouTube as there used to be.
I'm planning on. I need to get a hold of Meg Spuntime, either Meg Spuntime or I need to get a hold of Crystal. One of the two. The idea. Yeah, I'm planning on taking a slot for the Helping Hands for cruise-a-thon.
Yeah, I was talking to you, Floss. I just told you hello.
Hey, Floss.
Turned 20 Monday, huh? Wow. You had to bring them by and we'll wish her happy birthday, Carl.
Yeah, I know they're on vacation. But I can still go ahead and email one of them, and they can return my email when they get back, because that's what a couple others are doing as well. Meg and Crystal both are on vacation. Crystal's out there in Quartzsite right now. Actually, she's out there by Roy and Becky camping.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, we're going to stay 10 more minutes. It'll be 2 hours this time.
Yeah. Of course, I didn't come on till about when you was half already into the show already.
Yeah.
I was actually over there supporting another channel that I haven't been to in a while. Is this why I didn't come around?
Oh yeah, the more people you know, the harder it is to keep up with it, Kenny.
Well, and especially when you've had so much happen to you at once, it's like, and you know, and they're like, "Where's he been? Where, you know, I hadn't seen him around in a while." And I'm like, "Well, I've had a lot happen since I got back from my cruise and Disney trip. It actually it's like everything hit me all at once."
Well, you know, people come on here. Where's Kenny at? I don't know. He'd be in here after a while, or he'd be in here tomorrow. When he shows up, he'll be here.
Yeah. Well,
That's not good. Lord, when I was 20, I was on the way to my first divorce, I guess. A year and a half later, I was in Southeast Asia on vacation.
Thanks, T.
Yeah, I don't know why they care anything about him. He's a horse's
What
ass
is it?
when it comes to you get hurt. I'm telling the truth too, ain't I, Kenny?
Oh boy. Oh. Especially when you had hurt them ribs.
Yeah, he's a horse's ass, all right.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's right, Janice. I had a free vacation. Whoop, there he went. And he went plumb off. Damn. Yeah, I've got a lot of friends on here too. A lot of good folks on here. And then there's some people like Kenny. Oh, me. Yeah, it must have been. He put one of Diane's stumps and dropped his phone. Was he? I was wondering how you handle that. Well, I tell you what, YouTube, and especially the live chats, I think got a lot of people through that lockdown and that virus and all that mess. It's and a lot of us got to be good friends. It but I think that's there were a lot of people that helped make it through. Yeah, there's a lot of them too, Diane. We figured that's what happened. Oh well, we figuring to go here in a minute anyway. Oh yeah. again, we got 19 folks in here. And if y'all happen to think about it, go by Ava's. Somebody put the link in the chat. You have a good one, y'all. And y'all sub to her. Let's get her over 1,000 this week. I really appreciate it if you'd sub to her and watch her one of her videos. She's a nice lady. Yeah, that's right, Lorraine. Yeah. You know, it was a place that you could safely do that. And that was pretty neat. You have a good night, T. Nice to see you. Well, it's just about that time. We just about hit 2 hours. I think I'm going to back up and shut this thing down. I really enjoyed everything tonight. And thank you, Janice, for posting that. I bet it has been, Mr. Carl. I hope you get a good night's sleep. Good night, folks. We'll see y'all tomorrow.